What's going on, everybody? My name is John Michael Dumont. I'm here with owner, founder, CEO of Inspired by Unity, Jeremy Rodriguez. Jeremy, welcome.
What's going on?
Good. How's everything going? Good to have you here.
Always.
We're here to touch base. Just, I guess a lot of people have seen Jeremy's journey as he started Inspired by Unity in 2012, and we're here today just to, I guess, bring, some of you already know, but we're here to bring some people up to date on where we are and how everything's going.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I do have a quick question, Jeremy. How did this all start? Like, what brought it upon you?
So I started thinking in 2010, right? Why is it that families have become so separated? I started to think about why is it that people are more disconnected, you know, and they just really have no compassion, no empathy, no love, no care for one another as family members. Because I remember when I was younger, you know, when it was somebody's birthday, like I told you earlier, everybody was there to celebrate. When something was happening, you know, everybody was there. When there was a holiday, everybody was under one roof. And then as you get older, you know, people just kind of like just segregate. And I was just wondering the reasoning. And so I just, you know, I was like, I'm inspired by unity. I'm inspired by getting people back together. I'm inspired by giving that family chemistry, you know, rekindled again. So It started off there. It started off as a curious kid wondering why our family is so disconnected. And then it just grew to this passion where I really want to make this world a better place.
Nice. So since you say it that way, it started there. How did it? Well, what did you do? Like, what were your first things that you did to initiate the whole?
So the very first thing was think about the name. You know, I was just saying to myself, inspired by unity.
That's fire, by the way.
Yeah, I was just saying to myself, inspired by unity. I'm inspired by unity, and it started there. And then I started to think about what can I do to actually impact the community.
Yeah.
So I started off doing just regular blogging on social media. And then, you know what? I thought to myself a lot. I thought to myself, what didn't I get to have an experience as a kid? You know, sit on Santa Claus' lap, have an Easter egg hunt, be able to do indoor trick-or-treating. So I told myself, how many more kids are not going to have those same experiences because of for whatever reason? Yeah. So the very first event that we hosted was Santa Claus. I had owned a convenience store at the time, and we brought Santa Claus in. We literally used my house chair, boxes of sneakers, a little Christmas tree, but we ended up having over 100 and something people show up.
That's awesome.
And right there, I just grew an obsession, right? I just grew an obsession just seeing all these kids smiling, seeing all these families happy, and then all of the events that I've done were free.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know, if you're a family of 4, family of 5, family of 2 or 3, and you're kind of struggling to make ends meet, you're not, even if you want to, you're not going to be able to give a kid an opportunity to sit on Santa Claus' lap because it gets expensive when you have multiple children.
Yes.
So when I saw that and I felt that, that's when everything just took off.
That's so awesome. It does, like, because I obviously follow you on social media, so I see you up, and it's just like, it's always like with friends, with family, but it's always a positive vibe. And I honestly, truly think, not just Western Mass, not just America, the whole entire world, I think that we're at a place right now where we need to be inspired by unity, end of story.
Right.
Because a lot of people, it doesn't matter if you're talking politics or you're talking the color of a sign. Everybody's got their own opinions, but we're not united. Because if we were united, it would be easier to talk about certain things. And with that being said, because I talked about the whole family thing, what does your family mean to you? Well, you tell them what your family means to you, because I get a dose of it almost every day when I see you do what you do. So what's the family mean to you?
So for me, man, family, I know everybody says family is everything, but I mean, really family is everything. I'm very big on giving my children and my family moments and emotions that they will remember for the rest of their life.
Gotcha.
So, you know, a lot of times people see like the big stuff that I've done, you know, like I've taken my son to, you know, numerous events. I've taken my daughter to numerous places. But it's the day-to-day, the vibes that we're creating within our household that is really fulfilling their heart. You know, so like when you ask my son, what's been your favorite thing about your relationship with your dad? He'll tell you play fighting in underwears with a bag on their head.
I've
you know what I'm saying?
so many times.
It's just those little things, and I think one of the things that I want to tell people is that, you know, a lot of us are striving to give our family a great life. But you cannot really give your family a great life, because what a great life consists of is love, is compassion, is affection, is really joyful moments, right? Those undivided moments that you give your attention to those individuals and make them feel like they matter. So I kind of want to just continue on this, because with this whole inspired by unity thing, right?
Yeah.
The goal is to create more peace, more love, more unity among a family. Because if we can rekindle the chemistry, love within a family,
Yes.
it's inevitable that it's going to affect the community.
Yeah. If it starts at home. then it
Exactly.
spreads
So
like
I think
wildfire.
that I want parents to understand that your kids are following and seeing everything. They're feeling everything. We are literally creating their belief systems. We're creating what's okay and what's not okay with our behavior. So a lot of times when parents come to me, to coach their children,
Yes.
one of the things is I got to be able to coach you if you want me to coach your child, because your child got to go back to that same environment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think that not to go off topic, but I just think it's so important to highlight how valuable it is to truly embrace your family and understand what role you're playing in their life.
Oh, 100% agreed. I like it. Well, with that being said, I also want our followers and this interview being also us taking the journey with you, which I will say I have been on Team Jeremy or Team Inspired by Unity. I think it's a great movement. But with that being said, well, like, what are you doing now? Are you just local or what's going on?
So right now, I'm getting booked up in different places to speak. I'm currently physically living in Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts, and it's just crazy. It's crazy to see how much a positive energy is needed around the world. And I think that that's why people are booking me. It's not necessarily because I speak well, because honestly, whenever I speak, I stutter, I'm very imperfect in my approach of speaking. But I think what people are starting to appreciate, John, is just the positive energy that they feel.
Yes.
Right? Like that's what people, because being negative is easy. Right?
Super easy.
Being negative
Yes.
is easy, engaging in negativity is easy, being harmful and hateful is easy. So when they see somebody when I first started to do this whole process, everybody was like, this guy's fake, this guy's just seeking attention. Now 10 years later, you got people that are truly being inspired and are taking action in their life because of the energy. So it's not Jeremy Rodriguez, right? Because I'm literally just a source of energy. But it's the energy that I'm possessing to the world, is the energy that I'm giving off to the world on a consistent basis that's having an impact. So right now, I got an Easter egg hunt that's coming up.
Okay.
Right? This will be my third annual Easter egg hunt.
Can you please touch base on, as we did talk earlier, can you please touch base on it's for all kids, but there is a powerful message,
Yeah.
and you know that I love what the message is.
Yeah.
So could you please explain that?
So this Easter, whatever Sunday it lands on, we're gonna be having my team Inspired by Unity is gonna be having an event. It's an autism awareness egg hunt. I'm gonna give you guys further details eventually with a flyer if you're connected with me on social media. And that egg hunt is simply to give kids an opportunity to come together, enjoy some time. We'll have some cartoon characters, we'll have some face painting. It's always an epic time, and it's to bring awareness to the autism community. I feel like there's a lot of us that are that can relate to autism and kids that have that are autistic. And I just want to bring awareness. My goal is to be able to inform people as much as possible. I really need help with that, so if you guys can help me with that personally, that'll be a great thing. And I'm just trying to just bring awareness to different communities that are struggling with certain situations, right? Because I don't know what it is to have a kid that's autistic, so I can't imagine the challenges, right? Because it has its ups and downs. It has its moments. So it's just bringing awareness, and most importantly, creating a community where people come together.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like if you have a kid that has autism, I have a child that has autism, we obviously know the challenges, so if we can support each other,
Yes.
right? We can fall on each other's back as backbones, then maybe we can make it a little bit easier for us to raise our kids properly.
Agreed. So with that being said, also you said Easter. Do you do what other community inspired? Inspired by Unity.
Yeah.
What kind of other community stuff do you do?
So we do bullying awareness stuff, right?
Yes.
It's basically like a conference where we're teaching kids about just bullying, about self-esteem building, about confidence. We also do stuff in the summer where we just literally just throw a picnic and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Water balloon fights, super soaker fights, just all that good stuff. Santa Claus, the whole bringing the festivities to the community, have people sitting on Santa Claus lap, engaging with Santa Claus, Thanksgiving dinners, indoor trick-or-treatings, just a little bit of everything, And I want to make this very clear. I am simply the face of this, because without you guys, without the supporters, without the people that contribute, without everybody that even attends, these events wouldn't be possible. So like, I'm very big on expressing my gratitude towards my followers, and it's not even followers, it's supporters. Because without them, I'm simply a man with a vision.
I hear you.
And I think that is so important. It doesn't matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter what career you're pursuing. The people are what makes you who you are, right? So I see so many people, they're craving support, and they have so much negative energy towards people that are not showing them that love.
Yes.
But it's like, add value, right? Add value, really care for people, truly really think about those people and put yourself in those people's shoes. And those people that you want to support you,
Yes.
they're gonna support you eventually. Like a lot of you guys don't know, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm now starting to buzz. You know, and the reason why I decided to do this interview with this man is there's a story behind this. This man was somebody whom I've never imagined was bullied by me, right? Like, I thought it was cool to make fun of people. I thought it was cool to belittle people, not realizing the emotional impact that it's gonna have on somebody long term. So when this gentleman reached out to me, he told me, wow, like, it's crazy how you went from somebody that really made me feel like crap about myself to somebody who has uplifted me and given me hope. That's powerful. Anybody else could have been sitting in this chair. Anybody else could have been giving me this interview. I had a lot of people that hit me up when I did the post about somebody interviewing me. But what better story than somebody that knows what it is to be on both ends of the spectrum? So for those of you that are watching right now, I want you to truly think about this. Who have you hurt? Who needs to still forgive you? Who do you still need to apologize to? Who can you still encourage because of the person that you once were or the person that you still are? Man, listen to me. The words and the energy that you give somebody leave such an impact in their heart and in their mind. And just thinking about how my insecure tendencies really damage so many people it's heartbreaking to me, man. It's heartbreaking, and I think that that's a big reason why I'm so passionate about helping right now, because I know what it is to be on the other end and hurt people consistently. So, you know, like, now that we're here, I wanted to again publicly apologize to you, man, because you know that
it's all love, but
that version of Jeremy Rodriguez was insecure,
yeah,
was vulnerable, was unhappy with himself, and it made it easy for me to take off all that weight and all that pressure and put it on somebody, so that I don't have to face my own demons in that own mirror.
And I mean, it's like I said, it's incredible to see somebody, like, a lot of people won't like to see somebody change, Jeremy, in all honesty.
Right.
If you change for the better, people don't like it, because in all honesty, they don't like seeing people go up. They want to look down at you. Like,
100%.
they don't want you to be equal or anything like that. It's just, it's like I told you, this Inspired by Unity thing is an absolute incredible thing. Like, you teach them young, and then they grow up to be where you are, be like, respect people, and even their parents, even their kids, just somebody that they work with that they can't stand. It's just, rather than not stand them, understand them, like you always
Right,
say.
I love that. I love
Because like I said, we got kids and stuff like that. Like, in all honesty, what do your kids mean to you?
So my kids are the horsepower to this journey, right? Like, I think about my kids and I think about my son. And this is actually very interesting. I really want you guys to tune in on this moment right now. So I think about my son and I think about my daughter, right? And I think about, what is my son gonna have to recover from? Because his first about 7 or 8 years of his life, I was still a very vulnerable, very insecure man, doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. And I know that those first 7 years, he was a sponge. And there's times where I get upset at him, not because I'm upset at him, but because I'm upset at myself and he's reproducing the behavior. So we get upset at our kids, right? We get bothered at what they're doing, not realizing that a lot of that behavior stems from us. So now I think about my daughter and I'm like, I'm really shaping her reality. I'm really creating her blueprint. I'm really creating her mindset. I'm really the one that's dictating what she's gonna be afraid of, what she's not gonna be afraid of. I'm really creating what she believes in and what she doesn't believe in. I'm the one that's creating how much faith she's gonna have with my actions, with the way I make her feel. So, you know, like with my son, it's like, now I feel like I'm catching up on time, so I'm a little bit hard on him, and sometimes I know that he gets a little bit bothered at the pressure, but it's simply because the last thing I ever want to have as a father, and this is the only thing that I fear in life, that my kids have a child a childhood that they have to recover from because of my negligence, right? So I'm like, I'm very imperfect. There's so many things that I got to work on, but I want to make sure that my kids have close to minimal things that they have to recover from because of what they witnessed with me. So like to this day, like just the other day, I put my hands on my son for the very first time, and it wasn't nothing aggressive.
Yeah.
It was more so that he can have an epiphany moment on something, and the something was actually come over here, Jeremy, so you can come in.
I was gonna say, speaking of the family, we do have a special guest in the building.
My son. This is a perfect opportunity to
We have
bring
Mr.
this in.
Jeremy Rodriguez Jr. Welcome, bud.
Thank you.
So go ahead, Jeremy.
So the last time we had left his basketball game, and I was giving him constructive criticism, and we had mentioned something about his school grades or whatever. And long story short, he basically tried to put his grades on me, right?
Yep.
Like to find the excuse. So for me, although me as his father, when it comes to school, that's one of my biggest vulnerabilities, right? Because my parents never did their homework with me. My parents, they thought that if you're in school, this is what you're learning, you should be able to understand,
Yes.
you should be able to do, you should be able to apply.
Yep.
So my objective as a father is to give him the best life possible so it can give him enough reason to work hard at school.
Uh-huh.
The way he's interpreting it is literal. My father doesn't really acknowledge me about school. He doesn't acknowledge my effort about school. He's expecting for me to do this.
Yeah.
So he doesn't take it as serious. So we had an epiphany moment where I'm like, no, I grabbed him, give him a small little strike gesture. Nothing crazy, but it was enough for him to understand that I will be a coward as your father if I allow you to put excuses on why you can't perform to the best of your ability.
Understood.
Because how many of us don't do that? How many of us don't give our all? How many of us don't live to our potential? And how many of us put the reason on somebody else rather than owning responsibility? Listen to me, y'all. Nobody owes you nothing but you. It's your life at the end of the day. You putting this excuse on why you're not amounting to nothing is nothing but a cowardly behavior. So I need all of you to understand this. You are 100% responsible for your life. It's nobody else's life. Not your mom, not your dad, not your father. I mean, not your uncles, not your brothers and sisters, not your friends. Nobody. And we do that. We do that. We victimize ourselves, and we truly believe that it was somebody else's fault why our life didn't amount to something. Our parents, even though they created our blueprint and they created our blueprint and they really created that program, all they had to do was bring you into this world. That's it. Yeah. After that, like, think about how many abortions there is. Think about how many people have miscarriages. Think about how many people end up passing away before even making it into this promised land. So for me, it's like I looked at my parents as, wow, they sacrificed themselves, they sacrificed their life so that I don't become that. So rather than interpreting it so that I can allow myself to be a victim to it,
yes.
I literally said, yo, you know what? My father drank, that means that I shouldn't be drinking. My mother went through this, that means that I shouldn't go through that. They sacrificed themselves and their happiness and their well-being so that their kids don't become that. And that's something that it takes such a discipline, John.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It takes such a discipline. So like when it comes to my kids are literally they are my heart. And it's like, now that I'm here, it's like, even with my son being with me, I don't feel like I can tell this kid enough how much I love him. I don't think I can tell him how much he is my hero. Because if it wasn't for him, I would have had no reason to better my life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when we don't have a strong enough reason, we're gonna crumble. We're gonna fail. Like our life is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But when you have a big enough why on why you want to change your life, it just becomes like just a huge moment.
No, 100% agree with you. With that being said, Jeremy, how do you feel about what your dad's like doing? Not just at home with you and your sister, not just with his family, his friends, but like just like how do you feel about everything? Like he just. Not even just in our city, like the whole Inspired by Unity movement. How do you feel about it?
I think it's like a really big thing. Like a lot of people need it. Like a lot of people need help and stuff.
Yeah.
So like.
Because I do see a lot of the time though, it's not just him by himself. He takes the whole family with him, and it's like a lot of the time I see I love taking my kid with me. Like, and I feel I'm getting the same vibe from your dad. Like people say, hey, I'll watch Tyler. You don't have to bring him. I'd rather bring Tyler than one of my friends.
Absolutely.
It's just how it goes, and I really do see he's raising a solid kid, and I think he appreciates it, and in all honesty, Unity appreciates it as well. You should feel proud of yourself.
I was actually a little bit bothered because I wanted to take him to the Super Bowl for his birthday.
Yep.
And he literally tells me, no, Dad, we've already gone to Florida so many times. So it's like I had this trip that was 9 days, which I really wanted him to be with me. And, he didn't come with me. And those 9 days, as much as I enjoyed the breakthroughs and as much as I enjoyed the moments and the adult time,
Yeah.
but it's like, there's no better feeling than enjoying your journey, your dream,
Yep.
your process, your life with your children.
Yes.
Like for me, like just to be able to have them by my side, like his presence alone gives me so much horsepower.
Yeah.
Right? He gives me so much confidence because I know that I gotta be at my peak.
Yes.
I can't allow him to, like right now, right? I talk intense and I get super intense because I can't allow my son to think that it's okay to half-fast anything.
Yes.
I half-fast enough, bro. I half-fast enough of my life because of fear. I half-fast enough of my life because of the fear of judgment. And I'm like, you know what? I want him at the very minimum to give everything 100%. Because it's hard. It's hard, and it's something that if it's not second nature to you, it's very easy to crumble.
Mm-hmm. I'm really happy that we had this time because, in all honesty, I feel like because I think your logo is absolutely incredible. It shows the day that you started. When you look in the mirror, I'm sure you look at your shirts and you're like, damn, 2012, it's 2020, baby, and I'm still going. But like, I just think this is a perfect platform for you to actually explain to people what Inspired by Unity is, besides just a dope logo, and to go a little deeper into it and just everything like that. I just think it's incredible. Like, as a supporter, I just hope it keeps going. I honestly, I talked to you before, and I said about the fact that I was like, hey, do you take health insurance?
Yeah.
And it's just so much of a problem where, like, I think that it's absolutely incredible, and I'm gonna be good, but it brings a tear to my eye that I ever had to, and this has you to do with it too, that I've seen posts that you put up online of kids wanting to take their lives. Mm-hmm. Like I have goosebumps because I adore my son, right. And if he ever thought that way, I'd have to find out, like, no matter what, if it's going to the doctors or whatever, Daddy's gonna take care of it. Mm-hmm. But just for you to do something like that to me is monumental. Like, my head would not be able to fit in a doorway because I'd be walking around, I'd save somebody's life, and I will be forever grateful of that. So it's just, to see everything that you do with the community, in the public, and everything else that you do, it is just, it's like that Nike saying, witness greatness or something like that. And I don't know, it's just great. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to touch base with. We are on Facebook Live. If you guys have a question, feel free to ask us. We're gonna send Jeremy over to the video camera, and we'll give you guys a moment to look or to give us a question, and we'll have Jeremy look and pick one out that he likes, and then we'll have Jeremy Senior give you guys probably a pretty good answer. So it doesn't matter if it's a question, any kind of question for Jeremy that has to do with his business. And hopefully he can help you, because in all honesty, he helps a lot of people. And I think that what he's doing, like I've said numerous times, is absolutely incredible. So Jeremy, if you want to go over to the video camera.
Before he goes, I kind of want to I want to touch bases.
So bring your questions now, though, guys.
Yeah, you guys can start. If you guys have any questions, any comments, whatever you guys have, this is the time to do it. But so, Inspired by Unity. The goal for us is very simple, and I say this on numerous posts. If we can create more love, if we can create more peace, and we can create more unity among a family, among an actual household, then that is going to inevitably impact the community, right? Because if you think about it, it's children and people that are coming from broken homes, it's children and people that are coming from homes where there's a lot of stress, a lot of chaos, that are doing whatever it is that they're doing on the community. So my thing is, let's rekindle the family chemistry. Let's really embrace one another. Let's stop making funerals and cemeteries the reason on why we get together. And let's just become more united. I think that, for me, it's so crucial for people to take pride in their family tree. Like, I think about my family, every one of them, from my grandma to my uncles, to my aunts, to my cousins, and I'm like, wow. Like, I don't think they understand how much they actually mean to me. So when I try to do these family gatherings, it is not for ha-has. It is not to take a picture and post it online. It's simply to be able to say, I am creating another moment, another memory with my blood, right? So it's like, if we can take that personal, truly take it personal, just imagine, listen to me, y'all. Love is a human need. Why do you think so many people go out of their way to get that validation, to get that appreciation, to get that love? So what if we can do that without needing to do something negative? What if we can do that without needing anything outside of our family? What if we can do that? Just imagine the sense of security that we're gonna have as people. We got so many of us seeking validation through so many different variations, and it's incredible, right? And it's incredible. So right now, for those of you that are like, okay, Jeremy, that sounds great, but my family is this and my family acts like this, listen to me, y'all. I want you to think about this right now. If your family, somebody in your family was to pass away, what are you going to remember? What are you going to talk about? And what are you going to feel when you go to that wake? Do that and tell them that. Whatever you're going to post when somebody passes away, tell them that right now. Whatever shirt you're going to wear, whatever flowers you're going to bring when they're in that cemetery, do that right now. Because it's the lack of love, the lack of unity, and the lack of peace that keeps creating all these chaotic moments among our communities. So take the initiative, be the bigger person, and be the leader that your family needs. It's very easy for us to complain about somebody. It's very easy for us to dwell on what they've done to us. But you know what? Forgiveness comes a long way, because what has allowed me to forgive my family, what has allowed me to look at my family with compassion and empathy, is the fact that they were once a baby, the fact that they were once raised by somebody that was also once raised by somebody. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody does something for a reason. Understand the reason, understand the origin of the behavior, and maybe, just maybe, you have more empathy towards the actual behavior. I'm telling you, it's a process. It's a process, because there's a lot of healing that we got to do with ourselves. There's a lot of things that we have to combat within ourselves. And there's a lot of memories that we have to kind of like dilute. But it's so worth it. There's not one family member in my family right now that I look with a grudge. There's not one family member that I look at right now that I have this animosity towards. There's not, because everybody has taught you something, whether it was good or bad. Give this time, this moment, this opportunity for you to text, call, tell somebody that you love them, to let somebody know that they mean something to you. Please, I'm telling you, you may have to overcome your ego. You may have to conquer all of those thoughts that you're struggling with right now. But it's gonna be so worth it. Inspired by Unity, this is not just words. I got somebody that offered me $100,000 for my brand. $100,000. I could even post an email. $100,000, and I said, I will be selling my life for $100,000. Inspired by Unity, this is not just a movement. This is a way of life. And I'm telling y'all right now, mark my words, today, this very moment, this movement, I promise you will be global. This movement eventually is going to touch all surfaces of the world, because the energy, the passion that I have towards the human race is second to none. I'm not the greatest speaker by far. I don't articulate my words the best by far. But tell me a human being that has more passion and more care for the human race. It is impossible. You could put me against every speaker that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You could do all of that, because my expertise is not on the stage. My expertise comes from human interaction. When I actually engage with people, they feel the energy. When I actually hug people, they feel the love. When I'm actually talking and listening to people, they feel like they're actually cared for. They feel like somebody's giving them that undivided attention. That is what makes myself, my energy special. And that is exactly why this movement is going to be the greatest movement you guys have ever witnessed in the history of mankind. Yo, I just got so fired up, bro. Yo, you have no idea. I get fired up.